Earlier this year, TressAllure launched what they called the greatest innovation in synthetic wigs in 20 years with the release of their Look Fabulous Realistic Light Fibers. Well, they came out with 3 styles and then nothing. But they've got a new launch coming in these new fibers, and today you and I are going to take a look at Euro Chic in the color 829. I'm going to tell you all about this style, the fibers, and we will look at this color. So if you're curious, because I know I am, then let's do this. My name is Denise. I'm also known as heywigsister on Instagram and Facebook. I am so grateful to TressAllure for sending me this wig so that I could get to know her and share her with all of you. I am really thrilled that TressAllure is launching some new styles in these Look Fabulous Realistic Light Fibers because I am a huge fan of these fibers. And straight, kind of razored, blunt cut bob, right up my alley, exactly the style that I was looking for when I first started wearing wigs. So an opportunity to have this style in these fibers is awesome. I will put some details in the description box below. This is available at name brand wigs. I can save you 30%. Let's take a look at this one from all sides. So the first impression that I had when I put this on my head, and I will say this is out of the box. I mean, I've worn her for a couple of hours now actually, and you know, I've run my fingers through her, I've run a wide tooth comb through her, but I've done nothing else to her. And my first impression is this is a little bit of a face flapper, as you can see, but that's actually not a terrible thing because we are all very different in our preferences for hairstyles. And if you are going to be kind of sitting at an office or going to an event, this kind of a style is so polished and professional. But if you're going to be running around, doing stuff around the house, that kind of thing, it's going to flap a little bit in your face. I have a video showing how to take a hot comb. Since these are heat-friendly fibers, you can use traditional hot tools on it to get lift in the front of a wig and to change the part. And because this is a full mono top, you can change the part. This is how it came out of the box, but you can make it more of a center part. You can part it from right to left. You can give it a bit of a deeper part than it came out of the box. And so I'm going to link a video that teaches you how to do that on a heat-friendly synthetic with a hot comb, which is my favorite tool for doing all of these things. Running a hot comb through to get just a little bit of a cowlick, a little bit of lift in the front, really is all you would need to do if you don't like a wig that kind of hangs in your face. If you do though, then this is going to be perfect for you out of the box, which is why I said I don't think it's a terrible thing when a wig is a little bit of a face flapper, because I know I can make it work for me, but somebody else who doesn't like a lot of lift in the front would be disappointed. And because this has a gorgeous lace front, you can get all the lift you want and it's going to look super realistic. TressAllure does a really good job of keeping those knots really small. So on a brunette color like this, you don't see a lot of very visible knots, which I appreciate so much. And these light fibers, they're very, very small fibers, which gives you the opportunity to have really small knots. So I appreciate that. So whether you wear blondes or brunettes, these are going to be great lace fronts. There's that full mono top. That's what I mean when I say you can part it anywhere you'd like on the top. All of that is parting space. So the whole entire top of your head is parting space. That seam right there is common on full mono tops that go into a lace front. It actually helps to reinforce it so it stays intact over long periods of wear. If you can see that, depending on how you part the hair, and we'll look at that up close when I put the wig back on, a little face powder will work just fine to hide that. We've got soft ear tabs with bendable stays, an extended nape, Velcro adjusters so you can adjust the fit, and the rest is open wefted. I am actually going to adjust the fit a little bit on this one, and I'm going to take my wig grip off because I'm going to tell you how this fits me. And I have all of my measurements in the description box below, so you can compare your measurements to mine to get a sense of how this might fit you. TressAllure wigs are known for running really pretty true to average. And I do have a blog post where I talk about fit. I don't know where my wide tooth comb is, so we're just going to use this brush. And kind of what's considered average. If you aren't familiar with any of that, I'll link that blog post below so that you can educate yourself on fit. And I also indicate how the various major name brands run when it comes to that. So this wig fits me loosely, but not so much so that I can't wear it. I have to wear a wig grip with my TressAllure wigs because I do have a kind of an average petite head. I have a 21¼ circumference. I can cinch this almost all the way in. I also have just over 12 inches ear to ear, and it actually fits me really well ear to ear. There is extra cap. If I really pull on it, I can get that over my ear. But their caps are so stretchy and flexible. Tucking it up behind my ear is not a problem, and it doesn't bother me. And TressAllure makes some of my favorite wigs, and so I wear TressAllure wigs all the time, so I know that it's comfortable for long periods. But because it does that, you can be quite a bit bigger than me over the top and have it still fit you. Again, a little over 12 inches and then 12½ front to nape, and I do get a lot of cap. I am used to wigs feeling a little loose on me because my head is a little bit smaller, and so I prefer that. It doesn't bother me. A wig grip will hold it on perfectly, and so I just want to encourage you. Wigs can fit a wide variety of head sizes. You just learn how to work with that. If your head's a little smaller or a little bigger, this is really going to fit, I think, average petite all the way up to average large just fine. I will link my favorite wig grips in the description box below. I'll actually link a couple of different options in case you aren't familiar with wig grips. They can make a huge difference on the security of your wigs, and when I have a wig grip on, this is not going anywhere. I would go on a roller coaster with a wig grip on. That's how much I trust them, if it's a good one. They're not all the same. All right, so let's talk about density, volume, and Permatease. This piece does not have traditional Permatease. There is not a lot of volume on the top at all. This is a very kind of flat to the head style. There's not really even any Permatease at the crown. Sometimes you'll get a little bump of Permatease there. This doesn't have that. So it's really realistic, but if you're someone who likes voluminous wigs, you get in there, you zhuzh up that Permatease to get yourself a lot of lift. You're not getting that on this one at all. Like, I can make it look fuller than it is if I really try, but it won't stay because the Permatease isn't there to hold it in place. This has what I would consider light to moderate density. It's not the lightest density wig that I've ever had, but it's not a lot of hair. It's absolutely gorgeous, sleek, straight. I mean, it looks like you worked hard to get your hair smooth and sleek and straight. And it's a natural density, natural volume. I don't think I would be overwhelmed by this even when I was new to wig wearing. One thing that really helps if you've been losing your hair for a long time and you've got the hair in your face makes you feel like it's too much, just do a little tucking. If you tuck the hair behind your ears a little bit, that reduces some of what's on your face, and it can give you time to get used to a wig. So kind of a light to moderate density, no real volume, definitely not poofy. If you want to cut bangs in this piece, you can. I think this would be really cute with bangs. If your piece has a little bit more of a cowlick in the front than mine, because this front section is hand-tied, a human being hand-tied every single fiber into this piece on the lace front and on the mono top, so you may get a little bit more of a lift in the front than mine has. Again, you can take a hot tool, you can use a hot comb, you can use a hot airbrush to sort of flatten it out. So if you do cut bangs in your wigs, I would be prepared to potentially do that. And I would use a thinning razor to make sure that you're not getting too blunt of an end on these fibers. Oh, and I did mention that we would look to see if you could see that seam. Not really. I think they did a really good job of putting it back far enough that it's not obvious. But if you get it on and you feel like you can see that seam, it's a very common thing to have on a full mono top, then just take a little bit of face powder. You can get it at the dollar store if you don't wear face powder, and just dab it on a little bit. I have a video showing how to do that. So there'll be lots and lots of videos in the description box below to help you so that you can start to enjoy the wig journey, because it can be enjoyable once you learn a few things. Let's talk about color. 829. TressAllure named this basically the color codes that they used in this piece. If you're not familiar with synthetic wig color codes, I have a blog post where I talk about that and I break all the codes down. in this piece, we've got an 8, which is a medium brown. The brunette color codes go from a 2 to a 12. A 2 is the darkest brown, a 12 is the lightest brown, and then it's highlighted with a 29, which is an auburn. It is consistent all the way to the top. There is no root on this one. And I would say this is more like a salon color because you can see those auburn highlights. The other thing about an 8, sometimes it's a warm 8, sometimes it's a neutral to ashy 8, and you really don't know what color the company used until you see the piece. I am going to say this is a warm 8, kind of a chocolatey 8, and then just a beautiful kind of a light auburn. Let's get outside so you can see this color outside. Thank you once again to TressAllure. See you guys soon. All right, friends. Here is this gorgeous color. When I first started wearing wigs, there's a tree in the way of the sun. So let me move. I started with super dark browns, like 4s, really dark browns. And I first started gravitating towards colors like this. I just couldn't do the blonde highlights, but I absolutely could do the auburn. I just loved that. And that auburn brightens it up a little bit. Max is here with his ball. Do you see the ball? I don't know where he found it, but he thinks we're out here to throw a ball. So I guess I should wrap it up and throw the ball for him. I really hope this helped. Such a really cute piece. Hey friends, thanks so much for watching. Here are a few videos I think you might enjoy. Go ahead and click on one and watch.